The rain fell gently over the cobblestone streets of San Miguel de la Sierra, a small village tucked between mountains and fields of maize. Dwayne Johnson had arrived the night before, trying to keep a low profile, wearing a weathered cap and a leather jacket that had seen countless storms. He had come not as a Hollywood star, but to fulfill a quiet promise, to personally deliver help to a community center struggling to keep local children off the streets. As he walked toward the dusty village gym, he heard a rhythmic, steady thud, fists hitting leather. Curious, he followed the sound to a half-open wooden door. Inside, an 11-year-old boy trained with fierce determination on a battered punching bag, its stuffing spilling out through worn seams. His punches were rough but carried a strange strength, a mix of anger, endurance, and hope. Leaning on the doorway, Dwayne watched silently. The boy didn't notice him, focused entirely on his routine. Sweat ran down his face, gluing his black hair to his forehead. "Good rhythm," Dwayne finally said, his deep voice breaking the silence. The boy startled, glancing sideways with wary eyes. "I'm not training for you," he replied, turning back to the bag. "I know," Dwayne said, a faint smile forming. "But then, who are you training for?" The boy stopped, letting the bag sway slowly. His gaze dropped. "For my dad. He used to fight here, before he never came back." Dwayne understood in that moment. This was no ordinary kid. This was a story the world had forgotten, and he had no intention of forgetting it. The next day, Dwayne stepped inside the gym without asking. The wooden floor creaked under his boots. The boy glanced at him, unsure whether to keep training or tell him to leave. "What's your name?" Dwayne asked. "Emiliano," the boy replied flatly. Dwayne nodded, scanning the space. A rusty ring in one corner, loose ropes, faded posters, and the smell of old leather and damp wood. No one else was there, just the rain tapping the tin roof. "Do you always train alone?" "Yes. There's no one left to teach me. People say I have no future here, but I know I do." "And your dad?" Dwayne asked carefully. Emiliano's eyes dropped. "He fought here. He was good, really good. People say he could have left the village. But one night, in a fight outside town, he didn't come back. My mom says it was an accident. Others say someone hit him too hard." His fists tightened as he spoke. This pain wasn't fresh, it was an old wound that never healed. "And your mom?" Dwayne asked. "She cleans houses. We barely have enough to eat. This gym," he looked around, "was my dad's. Now it's forgotten, just like him." Suddenly, the door opened. A woman in her 30s stepped in, soaked from the rain. Her eyes widened at the sight of Dwayne, not with admiration, but with the alertness of a protective mother. "Emiliano, I told you not to train this late," she scolded. "I was just watching," Dwayne said calmly. "He's good strong." "Strength doesn't feed him," she replied sharply. "Come, son." Before leaving, Emiliano looked back and whispered, "I know I can go far, but no one helps me." Dwayne watched them walk away in the rain, realizing he couldn't leave this village without doing something. That look, that voice, it reminded him why he was here. That night, in his small rented room, Dwayne studied old photos the innkeeper had shown him, images of boxing matches in the very same gym, with a strong dark-haired man raising his arms in victory. Emiliano's father. "That was Julian El Toro Martinez," the innkeeper said. "No one here ever hit harder. Could have been a champion. But the world's cruel to men from places like this. His boy has the same look." "Then why doesn't anyone help him?" Dwayne asked. "Because people stopped believing. And some don't want anything to change." At dawn, Dwayne returned to the gym. The roof leaked, the ropes sagged, the floor groaned, but in his mind, he already saw it reborn. He called a friend in the nearest city. "I need boxing gear, ring repair materials, and paint, today." By midday, a beat-up truck arrived. 2 men unloaded new punching bags, gloves, wood planks, and bright lamps. Dwayne worked alongside them, repairing the ring, tightening ropes, and hanging the first new bag in the center. A group of men gathered outside, led by Ramon, a former boxer who ran the area's illegal fights. His business thrived on desperate kids fighting for pocket change. "What are you doing here, foreigner?" Ramon growled. "Making sure a kid with talent doesn't end up in your dirty fights," Dwayne replied without looking up. "This kid's not your business. Things stay the way they've always been," Ramon said. "Not while I'm here." The tension was thick, but Ramon eventually walked away. Later, Emiliano arrived and froze at the sight of the transformed gym. "You did this." "We did," Dwayne said. "Tomorrow you start real training." For the first time in a long while, Emiliano held something no one could take from him: hope. Days passed. The sound of Emiliano's punches echoed across the village each morning. Kids peeked through broken windows to watch him train under Dwayne's guidance. But in a smoky bar outside town, Ramon was planning. "That outsider's changing the rules," one of his men said. "There are no rules here. What can't be controlled gets destroyed," Ramon replied. That night, while Dwayne and Emiliano finished training, glass bottles shattered against the gym wall. Dwayne stepped outside to see 3 shadowy figures approaching in the rain. "Stay here," he told Emiliano. Ramon emerged from the shadows with 2 men. "I warned you," he said. "And I warned you. This place is under my protection now," Dwayne replied. One man lunged and got dropped by a single punch. The other doubled over from a knee to the gut. Emiliano shouted, "Dwayne, behind you!" Ramon charged with a knife, but Dwayne disarmed him and pinned him to the wall. Word spread fast. A charity event would be held in the restored gym. Entry was free. Donations were welcome. Dwayne's aim was to raise funds for the children and send a message to Ramon. The night of the event, the gym glowed under warm lights. Emiliano wore new gloves, looking around like he was in a dream. "Remember," Dwayne told him, "this isn't about winning or losing. It's about showing your story isn't over." The crowd filled the seats. Ramon entered with his men but stayed at the back, arms crossed. The exhibition match began, Emiliano versus an older youth. No hard blows, just skill and heart. The crowd clapped, then cheered, then roared. Between matches, Dwayne organized raffles and collected donations: food, clothes, supplies. At the end, Emiliano lifted his arms in victory. Dwayne stepped into the ring with a microphone. "I didn't come here to be a hero. I came because a boy reminded me strength isn't in your muscles, it's in your heart. And the heart of this village is bigger than any threat." The applause was deafening. Even Ramon's men lowered their heads. Ramon himself said nothing, then quietly left. The morning after, Emiliano cleaned the ring while Dwayne sat nearby, a small bag at his feet. "You leaving today?" Emiliano asked. "Yeah, champ. You don't need me to keep fighting." "That's not true. Who's gonna remind me when I want to give up?" "You will. That voice is already inside you." Before they could say more, Marta, a neighbor, rushed in. "Dwayne. Ramon's back, more men this time. They're planning to burn the gym tonight." That night, the rain returned. Dwayne stood in the ring, lights on, waiting. Ramon entered with 7 men carrying gasoline cans. "Nothing you build here lasts," Ramon said. "Some things do, especially when they're not just for yourself," Dwayne answered. The back door opened. Dozens of villagers entered, led by Emiliano and his mother, holding sticks and lanterns. "This ends with me," Dwayne said, tossing Ramon a pair of gloves. "No weapons. Just you and me." They fought hard. In the 3rd round, Dwayne found his moment, a clean body shot followed by a right hook. Ramon dropped to his knees, gasping. Dwayne helped him up. "You have strength, but no purpose. Find it." Ramon left in silence. The villagers erupted in cheers. Emiliano ran to Dwayne and hugged him. "Thanks for saving the gym, and for teaching us to fight together." Outside, the rain washed the village streets clean, carrying away the fear that had lingered for years.